Hello and welcome to Precon Decon, the video series where I deconstruct the pre-constructed decks of Magic the Gathering's history. In this video we're going to keep looking at Alara Reborn, and we're going to move on and look at Unnatural Schemes, which is a blue-black deck. Let's just dive in, start looking at that. So, blue-black. So the theme of this is actually, it's kind of ahead of its time. It's predating Innistrad by doing blue-black zombie tribal. The whole deck isn't zombies, but there's a fair number of them in here. So one of the rares is Lich Lord of Unks. So it's a blue and a black for a 2/2 zombie wizard. You can pay 1 blue and 1 black and tap to put a 1/1 blue and black zombie wizard creature token into play. And you can pay double blue, double black, and not tap, which is interesting. So if you've got the mana, you can do it more than once. Target player loses X life and mills X, where X is the number of zombies you control. So really nice that this. It's not entirely reliant on you playing other zombie cards. It at least makes its own. It makes its own zombie tokens to interact with its second effect. So I think it's really good. So 3 mana as well. This is this feels really good actually. I think I have a couple of copies of it, and I don't think I've ever used it, which is I'd like to give it a try. And I kind of like that it's making someone lose life and mill. Because you're basically like, if you don't get them one way, you might get them the other way, which I think is pretty interesting. So yeah, good rare I think to have in this deck. You have 2 Jessian zombies, so 4 a blue and a black for a 2/4 with fear, which is very, very expensive. This is like the blue-black super overcosted land cycling creature. So yeah, normally you just want to island cycle or swamp cycle this just to get a land. Although late game, there is the chance, I suppose, like if you did want to play it just to have another body on the board, but like it's so expensive. So yeah, it's really just here as a land search spell, just thin the deck a little bit, I think. Single Vidalcan Ghoul. Kind of wish there was more of this though. 1 blue, 1 black for a 1/1. Whenever it becomes blocked, defending player loses 4 life. So people really, really don't want to block this and take like a bunch more life loss than they would just by letting it through. So yeah, I really like Vidalcan Ghoul. I think this is a pretty good creature, pretty interesting effect to have on such a small body as well. Yeah, would have liked to see more of this, I suppose. Then a few more zombies. So from older sets, so we have Fate Stitcher, who's 3 and a blue, 1/2 tap. You can tap or untap another type permanent, so it goes quite well with the Lich Lord. Like you can make a zombie token, untap it with this, and then make another zombie token. And you can unearth it for a single blue, which is really good. So we're still sort of sticking with unearth a little bit. Unearth just means if it's in your graveyard, you can pay 1 blue, return it to play, and it has haste, but then it gets exiled if it would leave the battlefield in basically anyway. So yeah, it just means if you absolutely need to, you can unearth this and get one more use out of its ability, which I think is pretty good. 2 Grixis Slave Driver, so 5 and a black for a 4/4. When it leaves play, you put a 2/2 black zombie creature token into play. It has unearth as well, so you could attack with this, be quite aggressive with it. It dies, you get a zombie token, you unearth it, swing with it because it's a 4/4 haste, and then it dies, and then you get another zombie token, which is good, which helps the Lich Lord of Unks. So yeah, I think Grixis Slave Driver is again like pretty good card. It might be a little expensive, maybe it's 6 mana for 4/4, but I suppose it makes a token for free when it dies, or even just leaves play. Actually, if you did have some way of bouncing it back to your hand in any way, it makes that token as well. So yeah, I think it's all right. 2 Nantuko Husk, so these are from 10th edition, 2 and a black, 2/2, sack a creature, it gets +2/+2 to 10. Yep, this is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. The fact that ability doesn't cost any mana, I think, is okay. It means you can just sort of swing, see how the blocks are turning out, and then you can just, sack everything into this and potentially, do lethal kind of out of nowhere. Nantuko Husk, I think, is pretty good. We see like this kind of creature a lot, this kind of stat line of 3 mana for a 2/2, and you sack it to give +2/+2. So I think there's Phyrexian Ghoul, this, and then in M10, I think, Vampire Aristocrat is exactly the same. Yeah, it's standard black creature is pretty good. So the other rare is Nemesis of Reason, who is this absolute amazing. I love this art. So 3 a blue and a black for 3/7 Leviathan Horror, which is an amazing creature type. So whenever it attacks, defending player just mills 10, which is if you were playing these decks against each other, say they're 41 cards. This would feel very, very strong. Obviously against like normal 60-card decks, this wouldn't be maybe as good. I mean, 10 cards off the top of the library is still pretty good. Mill always feels very scary because it kind of, I suppose it can sort of feel bad because you're sort of your opponent could, they're losing spells before they even get a chance to like draw them, which kind of feels bad. But at least this does it kind of quickly. It gets it over with quickly, puts an end to the suffering. The fact it's 3/7 as well, so it's really, really chunky and hard to deal with. So it's not really going to be doing much damage even if it gets through. But yeah, the fact that the ability triggers off just when it attacks rather than like having to rely on combat damage, I think is really good. So yeah, like Nemesis of Reason. Doesn't have fear, apparently, but I think then it might be too much to deal with. But yeah, I like it. Good, another good rare to have. 2 really good rares in this deck, I think. 2 Architects of Will, so 2 cards, a blue and a black for a 3/3. When it comes to play, look at the top 3 cards of target player's library, then put them back in any order. It's kind of a little weak, I think, honestly. You can use it on an opponent, I suppose, just to see what their next 3 draws are and kind of like shuffle them around a little bit, I guess. And it has cycling just for a single blue or black, which is, I don't know. I think it's okay. This is definitely because each 2 color combination has like one of these sort of at common. They have an effect when they come in, have an effect, and they also have cycling. So in the last one we saw the Glass Dusk Hulk, which I think is better just because it was a fairly decent sized creature and got like an evasion boost whenever you play an artifact. So it was like repeatable, whereas this is just when it comes into play. So yeah, they're all right, I guess. 2 Titolo Strix, just a blue and black for a 2/1 flying death touch. Yep, perfectly good. Kind of wish it was a zombie, honestly. It had always been a zombie because then it could combo with Lich Lord. But yeah, this is perfectly fine, like really good flyer. Single Phantom Warrior, just 1 and 2 blue, just for a 2/2 unblockable. Yep, classic inclusion here from 10th edition. Yep, not really sure what it's doing in this deck. It feels a little out of place, but it's still fine. It's still and it's super evasive attacker, so yeah, it's fine. So then we have 2 Agony Warps. This has been in pretty much all the Grixis themed pre-constructed decks. Really, really good. Just 1 blue, 1 black. Gives target creature -3, -0 to 10. Gives target creature -0, -3 to 10. So said it before, definitely repeating myself here, but you can target the same creature twice, so it gets -3, -3, or the best use of this is really like to get a 2 for 1. You make one creature really weak, so like you're attacking or blocking creature, can kill it without being killed back, and you just, kill something else like an X3 or something. So yeah, Agony Warp is pretty good. Good 2 for 1 potential. Single counter squall, so 1 blue, 1 black, just to counter a non-creature spell and control loses 2 life. Yep. Perfectly fine. Non-creature spells, he gives it a lot of flexibility in what it can hit. Yeah, and it's perfectly fine. And at 2 mana, I think it's perfectly costed. A single soul manipulation. So 1 blue, 1 black. Choose 1 or both counter target creature spell and or return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So you get to do both. This feels great. You're not only countering a spell, but you're countering creature spell, but you're getting one of your own back as well. The fact that it can be 1 or both, like it means it doesn't feel too bad. Like if you have to, if you can only do one of the modes. So yeah, I think it's fine. Like if desperate, you like, I could use this to counter creature spell, or I could just get a creature back from graveyard. But I say, obviously, the dream is doing both and getting like a really good deal for 3 mana and a single card. So yeah, good card, I think. Single Brain Bite. This is based, I think, just coercion with a card draw, isn't it? So 2, a blue and a black. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a card from it. They discard, and then you draw a card. Yeah, just really like simple, straightforward effect. It's just coercion with an extra card draw. Yeah, perfectly fine. Single Deny Reality, so 3, a blue and a black, has Cascade. We'll talk about that in a bit. So it just returns a permanent to owner's hand. So it can be non-land, but it doesn't say non-land permanent, so you can do lands if you wanted to as well. But it being Cascade is really good. So Cascade, we saw a little bit in the Legion Loft deck. So Cascade is when you play the spell, you exile cards from the top of your library until you find a card that has a non-land card that has a mana value lower than this one, and then you get to play that just for free. So this is like 5 mana. You bounce a permanent, and also you get a free spell. A random free spell, which is pretty good, I think. This Cascade is an ability, like it gets better the more expensive the spell it's on is. So yeah, this gets quite a lot of free stuff from your deck. That's pretty good. Like Cascade. Can't remember if any of the Alara Reborn decks really use it that much. I think maybe the red-green one uses it quite a bit, just because I think it's got Bloodbraid Elf and a few others. But yeah, just good to have a single Cascade card in here, just to show it off as the set's new kind of gimmick. 2 Essence Drains, just 5 mana, just does 3 to a creature player and you gain 3. I always thought this is kind of a bit expensive, honestly. Yeah, it's okay. And then, yeah, land-based, 2 Tamor of Expanses, and then 8 each of Island and Swamp. Yep, pretty straightforward. So, what could have been? So overall, I do think the deck's alright. I think it's got a fairly decent card selection. I don't think anything in here is super bad, honestly. A few I'm a little confused by, like the Phantom Warrior, just like really don't understand why that's doing in here. But yeah, I think overall it's actually fairly solid. The Jessian zombies as well are pretty bad, but I think every one of these Alara Reborn decks has the land cyclers in them. But yeah, Misfame Border Post, I thought it could be here. This is like a mana rock. I thought this could just be like an alternative to Terramorphic Expanse, really, just to show off like a new card, maybe. Sonai Drake, I thought this could fit in here. Yeah, it's another zombie. It's got flying as well, so it's got the evasion. It's got haste, so it can come down and swing immediately. Yeah, like 4 mana, maybe a little expensive, but yeah, I think it could have been fit in here. It would have been all right. Grixis Grimblade, I think definitely should have been here. So it's 2/1. If you control another multicolored permanent, it gets +1/+1, has Death Touch. So a 3/2 Death Touch for only 2 mana is pretty good, I think. And obviously it's a zombie. It combos with Lich Lord of Unks. So yeah, I think that this could have been in here easily. I don't know instead of what, but yeah, you could have found it. Maybe instead of the Architects of Will, because they're not really doing that much, I think. And then let's talk about Mind Funeral. So this could have been here. This could have really because you've got Lich Lord of Unks doing mill. You've got Nemesis of Reason doing mill. I think you could just had a single Mind Funeral. So I critically misread this card when I first saw it. I just thought, oh, it's another mill card, whatever. And then I read it, and it's so mean for 3 mana. So target opponent reveals cards from the top of their library until 4 land cards are revealed, and then all cards revealed are just milled. And that is that's so mean, because I was at the very least you're getting rid of 4 land. Even if they're the top 4 cards a land, you got rid of 4 land. And yeah, but more than likely this is going to hit someone for sort of maybe 10, 11 cards. Super mean card. And yeah, this is honestly a card that in my playgroup time we would just strap I think someone played it in one game and we saw how mean it was, and we're just we're just not playing this card. It's gonna there's gonna be some hurt feelings over it. So it was actually a card we straight up banned in my playgroup. But man, it's mean, so mean. Anyway, yeah, it could have been here. You could have had one of these in here, just really double down on that mill theme that it's sort of got. So overall, I think this is actually pretty good for the, I think all the Alara Reborn decks are actually pretty good, which I would say is actually not difficult to do after Conflux and Shards being kind of a little underwhelming. This one I think is honestly pretty good. I think I might have had it. Yeah, because I have a Lich Lord of Unks, I have a Nemesis of Reason. Why would I have those for any other reason, I suppose? Yeah, so this is super good to get. I don't think I played it out of the box because it's 41 cards, so I think I probably just immediately disassembled it. But yeah, I think this one is pretty good. Yeah, definitely fun to see blue-black zombies as a theme. As I say, we'll see that in Innistrad, but we're a couple of months off away from looking at Innistrad. What are your thoughts on this deck after seeing it? Did you like the look of it? Do you have any thoughts, comments, opinions, stories about this deck? Put a comment below. Always like reading those. I'll be back next time though. I'll look at another Alara Reborn intro pack. But until then, thanks for watching and listening. Have a great day.